Hey everybody, Sean Hatzel here with Get Lean in 12. And inside today's short fat loss video, I'm going to share two simple strategies that release and shrink stubborn fat cells. And this is especially effective if you're over 35 years old. So if you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, you're going to want to pay close attention to the content that I'm going to provide in this video, because most people think that we burn belly fat or we burn body fat, and that really is a myth. We don't burn anything. We actually shrink fat cells. So up here, I have a diagram of a fat cell. I'm going to talk about the exact process that your body goes through to shrink a fat cell, which allows you to flatten your belly and lose stubborn body fat. I'm also going to introduce you to a system called the Over 40 Absolution, which you'll find at the link somewhere around this video, but don't click it yet because I want to share all the details of what's found inside this amazing system. And it's especially effective for people in their 40s, 50s, or 60s because of the current hormonal condition. You see, after age 35, fat loss hormones start declining rapidly, in particular growth hormone. So this is a condition known as somatopause or growth hormone age-related deficiency. And the 12-minute protocols found inside my Over 40 Absolution system will teach you how to naturally increase growth hormone production in only 12 minutes a day, up to 400 to 700%. And I'll go ahead and I'll post scientific studies and research below in the comments section to substantiate any claims that I'm making inside this video. When you click the link somewhere around this video, don't click it yet, I have tons of great content for you. You're also going to learn about my wife's amazing story and how she was forced into early menopause 10 years ago when she was diagnosed with colorectal cancer and accumulated a ton of upper belly fat. Well, the information I'm going to share inside this video, along with the 12-minute strategy that I'm going to share with you that's found inside my Over 40 Absolution system, is how she flattened her belly. And you'll see her after pictures and read her inspiring story when you go over to our website. First, let's talk about these two simple strategies that release and shrink stubborn fat cells. So here's a fat cell, and inside the fat cell, you'll see these little circles. This is called triglycerol. So when you're in a calorie surplus and or you're eating unhealthy, what ends up happening is you accumulate more triglycerol inside your fat cells, and then it expands, and this is what causes us to gain body fat and belly fat. Now, there's specific hormones that are released by the adrenal glands that are responsible for releasing this triglycerol into the bloodstream so that it can be delivered to working muscles and burned off. And those two strategies that will mimic this effect and make this happen are intermittent fasting and or a calorie or energy deficit. So as long as you're consistently engaging in movement patterns, eating healthy, and keeping the body in a calorie deficit where you're burning off more calories than you're taking in every day, this will force the adrenal glands to release certain hormones responsible for shrinking stubborn fat cells. So will the 12-minute strategic exercise burst found inside my Over 40 Absolution system that you'll see at our website at the link around this video. And this uses specific movement patterns, specific intensity levels, and specific rest periods that are designed to increase fat-burning hormones, in particular growth hormone. So these two strategies, what they'll do is they'll stimulate the adrenal glands to release adrenaline. That adrenaline then converts into a group of hormones that are called catecholamines. I'm not going to get into detail about the names of the hormones inside this group of catecholamines. I just want you to understand that the adrenal glands release adrenaline and it converts to these hormones that are responsible for releasing triglycerol into the bloodstream, where it's converted to 3 fatty acids. At that point in time, it will be delivered to working muscles in the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the muscle cell, so that the energy can be burned, and this is how you shrink a fat cell. So just to go into more detail about strategy number 1 and strategy number 2. Strategy number 1, when you see intermittent fasting, there's 2 ways that you can use intermittent fasting to lose fat faster and to shrink stubborn fat cells. The first one is to abstain from eating just 12 hours a day. This is the basic step 1 for somebody who's never fasted before. So if your last meal is at 8 p.m., then your next meal the next day wouldn't be till 8 a.m. This is an easy way. Research shows that people who fast 12 hours lose more weight than those who don't. Now, as you get used to doing this, you can extend this window out to 14 hours if you're a female, and all the way out to 16 to 18 hours if you're a man. So if you're a man, you eat your last meal at 8 p.m., You could go ahead and extend this all the way out to 1 or 2 p.m. the next day if you wanted to, 16 to 18 hours. Now, most people think that this is going to slow down the metabolism, you're going to lose muscle, and you're going to be starving, but you end up regulating the hormones that help you shrink stubborn fat cells, and you actually end up eliminating hunger, and you actually end up having more focus during your fasted window. Now, just to drive this point home, because most people think that you got to eat every 2 or 3 hours to lose belly fat, and that's a myth. It doesn't speed up your metabolism, and people who eat 3 meals a day lose just as much weight as people who eat 5 or 6 small meals a day. But on this chart here, you can see after days of fasting, so just after, this is day 0, so just after 1 day, you can see how the body stops using carbohydrates as a fuel source and starts using fat and ketones as a fuel source instead. Then there's metabolic changes over 4 days of fasting. And you can see here the hormonal difference. Insulin before fasting and glucose versus after fasting. So now insulin is dropping and glucose is dropping, and your body is using more ketones and fatty acids as a fuel source. And then you'll notice this spike, this green spike is norepinephrine. This is part of that group of catecholamines that I was talking about. And then the last chart I want to show you about fasting, 12 to 14 hours if you're a female, 16 to 18 hours if you're a man. Doing this, I recommend Monday through Friday and giving yourself a break on the weekend. There's 3 categories here on this chart, and this is over 4 days of fasting. Weight, resting energy expenditure, and VO2. And you'll notice that weight goes down, so you're losing weight while you're fasting, and your resting energy expenditure actually goes up, so your metabolic rate actually increases when you fast. Most people don't know this. And then, of course, your VO2, you can see it rising slightly as well. So this just goes to show you, I would never recommend fasting for 4 days, by the way, but we can mimic this effect and get the same metabolic results from this by just following a simple 16-8 protocol if you're a man, or a 12-12 or a 14-10 protocol if you're a female. And then when you combine this with this 12-minute strategic exercise burst found inside the Over 40 Absolution system, you really get a 1-2 punch where you're double stimulating those adrenal glands to burn an insane amount of fatty acids that have been released from your stubborn fat cells. So if you got something out of this and you learned something, hopefully I kept it simple enough. Throw me some hearts, throw me some likes, give me some shares. If you got questions, post them below. And if you learned something, type yes down below, and then somewhere around this video you'll see a link that you can click or tap where you're going to learn all about the Over 40 Absolution and my wife's inspiring story. And for every person who grabs a copy of our system, we also help give to a partnership that we have with Living Water International, where last year we installed 4 water wells through our charity partnership with Living Water International in needy villages. We raised almost $30,000, and then this year our goal is to raise $250,000. And for anybody who grabs a copy, you have no risk. There's a 90-day money-back guarantee. We will contribute and take care of a needy child and give them clean water for 90 days. So thanks for watching this, and keep going strong.